Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Welcome to In the Paint. Please introduce yourself. Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up? It's Holip from Brooklyn.
What's up, brother? My man, what's going on?
What's up?
What's up, Holip?
What's up,
How you doing? Peace.
Hanging. You know, what's some of your thoughts, brother Holip, on this particular topic?
Well, the last thing I heard you talking about was the fall of America.
And I know that you might have a little something to say about that.
That's your voice.
Like they broke it down. It's like, do you know that in Egypt, the Hyksos invaded Egypt and took over for about 400 years, and then they were defeated and expelled out, and then things went right back to normal. How long has America been in existence?
About 4, right? Almost 4.
You know, so like you said, people don't know history. Like this place is a blip on the radar.
Right. Yep.
And the thing about it, and me and Deb were talking about this today. It's like let's just look at New York. Like we don't even talk about America. Let's just look at New York, because New York is sort of like the macro of what y'all talking about. The problem is, you know, everybody accepts bullshit to a certain degree. You know, you say, like, I think the average person in a society says, you know, I know that there's going to be some corruption, but at least if we can, you know, give you a little bit of corruption and we can keep the wheel rolling, then we fine. These people want to just run the damn thing off the rails. You know, it's like New York is the shakedown capital of the world. They got to shake down and take money out of your pocket at every freaking turn. Trying to get a house out here, trying to get a car. Everybody's trying to line their pockets up and get paid along the process. And they make it so bad that people just leave. New York is like a ghost town now.
Yep. Look at Brooklyn.
And instead of people saying, well, maybe we need to back up off the corruption, they put the pedal to the metal.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, soon there ain't going to be nobody to rip off anymore. You know, Dad was talking about he had a ticket that he was going to challenge, and he found out he got 2 more he didn't even know about.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
They're just trying to get you every way that they can, and the thing is, it's like there's no balance.
None.
There's no middle.
None. Yep. That doesn't even exist.
So this place is going to go off the rails. And like I said, and I've said this a long time ago, if you have some Negroes out here who want to be Captain America and want to fight and have a race war over Iowa and Arkansas, hey, knock yourself out, nigga. If that's what your plot in life is to get land and snatch up all those natural resources in Iowa and Arkansas, knock yourself out. Because like I said, my thing is I'm about the content, you know, establishing our own somewhere else. And my thing is, and anybody that's not down with that, if you're anti-African and all of that other mess, and you don't want nothing to do with Africa, I feel the same way about you that I feel about homosexuality. More pussy for me, nigga.
Hey, and 2 things on top of that. Stephen Bardo just went to Ghana, did a basketball camp there. They had an all-star game with players that live here, that are from the continent, and people on the continent. Man, you know they had 100 million viewers, and now you know, they're looking at the continent, man, because they know largest population under 25, most connected people to the internet. That's the continent. So the continent's going to have its rise as well, but we always look in the present and think things are always going to be what they were. England, the sun will not set on its empire. Okay, what is it now? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything changes all the time, man. And
and who was that dude?
Arkansas and Indiana, you in trouble.
Who was that dude? I think they asked the guy, "Why did you rob the bank?" And he said, "Because that's where the money is."
Exactly.
It's the same. I did a video on YouTube. If you ever get a chance, check it out. Called the Reverse Transatlantic Slave Trade.
Tell them your YouTube channel.
And in that video, with Holipsism, HOLIPSISM on YouTube. But if you do Reverse Transatlantic Slave Trade, you'll see. And in that video, what I do is I go through. Now, in America, you got. I think at the time I did the video, I think Oprah was worth $2 billion or something. What is she worth? She's like worth $2 billion. But I was going across all of the so-called billionaires and multimillionaires in America, right? And the whole point of my video was I was tracking to see how their wealth increased over a period of time. And then I went to Africa and I went to Nigeria and I showed how Aliko Dangote went from about $2-3 billion to about 12 and 13 within a year.
Yeah.
But he was damn near worth $20 billion, and then the oil crisis thing happened, which brought him down a little. But I was showing not only him. There's one of the African leaders. His wife's hairdresser gained about $4 billion in a year.
Dang.
Because of some land that he gave to her. Not only is the money in Africa, but the amount of wealth increases. Why? Because your wealth is tied to the development of the infrastructure.
The biggest room
Oprah Winfrey been about $2-3 billion for like the last 15 years. Her wealth has not increased.
Wow.
And it's only but 1 or 2 billionaires in this black here in America. Or, really, like if you talk about real tangible assets, it's not really that many of them. Aliko Dangote is worth, you can take the top, and I did it in the video, take the top 15 rich niggas, and Aliko Dangote has more wealth than all of them combined.
Is that because their wealth isn't tied to anything really tangible?
Right, they're not like you. Listen, I said this a long time ago. America has no new frontiers.
Right.
There's no new wealth. Like they could, if they were smart, they would redo their infrastructure. An infrastructure project would increase. Would definitely help the American economy. But these people are so. It's such a polarizing political context. They can't even suggest doing infrastructure programs because then you're a socialist. But the thing is, when you go to Nigeria and places like that, in South Africa, who's on the come up, where they do have new frontiers, where there is places for development, where they are building their infrastructure, then people tend to make wealth rapidly. Because they tie their wealth to the development of their country. How you think of Aliko Dangote got to be where he is right now? He's the richest man not only in Africa, but just about anywhere.
Yeah. There's so much room for growth, young population, all of that adds up to it. And you look at America, one of the oldest populations on the earth.
Silly niggas here in America is trying to keep us tied to the hip to America where there ain't nothing in fucking America for us to even fight about. Which is why I said I used to get upset about it. Now I'm happy because now, like I said, if you gay, more pussy for me. And if I feel the same way for Africa, if you don't like Africa, we need as little dumb niggas in Africa as possible.
Right.
So stay right here in America getting your ass kicked, nigga. Stay right here. And I'm happy. I'm happy for you. Because while we building and developing, and we'll have our nation state, and we'll have ties with other African countries with resources and minerals and all this other stuff, y'all niggas won't even build a dirt road in America. I guarantee you. I said, what's today? Today's the 31st. I guarantee you these niggas ain't gonna build shit in America.
And let me tie one more thing to that, and that's the thinking. So think about, in America, the best minds are doing what? Figuring out how to put ads in the apps and social media and things like that. So you're wasting, intelligent resources. You go to the continent, you talk about people who are dealing with less. There's a lot more room for growth, and everything is built with the idea of we do better. So there's more idea of country, of, you know what I mean, of something you want to develop and see happen. Here, you see disruptive technology. Hey, I just created Uber. We're going to put thousands of taxi cab drivers out of work. So I created something new. Let me get this money. So disruptive technology here, over there, cooperative technology.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's Africa is where the money is. All these niggas talk about money, money, money. I gotta get this paper. Cash rules everything around me. But why are you staying in this fucking place? The money's over there.
Indeed.
That's why I said, man, let dumb niggas can stay in America, and I'm glad that they have no natural affection to their homeland. I'm glad. I'm not unhappy at all.
Right.
One of the most irresponsible things Nas ever said: open every cell in Attica, send them to Africa. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why you doing that to the continent, bro? You ain't doing no vetting, no nothing. Just send them to Africa. Oh, bro, slow down with that. Slow down with that. You need to check some heads first.
I always say, like, I always play around with the the fancy, the idea, like the superpower that Africa is supposed to be with those natural resources. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whitey, man.
United, they can put a billion men into the field, a standing army of a billion. You know what I mean? A million people. Like, don't nobody want to deal with that. Same way they don't want to deal with China. So that's why they continue to keep the division going. But united, they become the world power that China is overnight.
What do you have in Africa? You have gold, you have oil, you have diamonds.
Yep.
What else in Africa?
Africa can be self-contained.
Yep.
Self-contained. We don't need shit from nobody.
Matter of fact, I want to have an opinion on this. I have a good friend who's from Nigeria. He grew up here, but he's from Nigeria. Or he grew up in both places, whatever. But we had an argument one time because I remember as a kid I watched Shaka Zulu, and as a kid I didn't understand the timeline until I got older about when it took place, and I've long believed that Shaka Zulu came a couple of centuries too late with what he wanted to do. He came too late for that continent to be what it probably should be today. And what I mean by that is he was all about he waged war against the opposing tribes in South Africa because he wanted to have one nation, one country, which will, as you know, if anybody that's read history, and you go back to certain places like the British Isles after the fall of Rome, where they had to unite that piece of land in order to make it what it would become. And he got upset with me. He said that that's not true. It would still be the same way regardless. But I don't understand how that's so. You get one guy, get everybody on the same page. Unfortunately, it comes through bloodshed. Like we know how this world has done. But you get one man, one idea, one vision, and he makes one country, and it's controlled and contained by the people. I thought
somebody being from the continent don't mean they're going to be good at critical thinking. So that person you was talking to, they didn't think that out well. China's the prime example. They had those Shang and different dynasties, and it was split up. And Qin comes in, puts it all together into one nation. And you know what I mean? You see the remnants of that now, that they have that collective culture as one. Africa, the distance was the biggest issue because it's so spread out, so vast, it would be hard to consolidate. But if Shaka was able to pull it off, like you said, at a different time, then they could have stopped colonial aggression, outsider, invasion and everything else. So definitely.
It's still not too late. It has to be revamped and fine tuned. Like what people don't understand, and I've always said this. when you say I'm an African, you're not. That's not a nationality because Africa is full of different countries.
Right.
When you say you're African, you're making a political statement.
Right.
You're saying, so that if the continent could just agree that you're fucking African, it doesn't matter whether I'm Nigerian. It doesn't matter whether I'm from Senegalese. All of that, you can keep your country and your nationality. Nobody's challenging that.
Yeah.
They're saying you're African. You're from the continent. So politically, I'm an African. So when I see a Senegalese brother going through some bullshit, I'm supposed to help him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my brother. It doesn't mean that he's not my brother because he's not Nigerian. That's some backwards-ass bullshit.
There you go. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's why you gotta give credit to like I'm always amazed by the people that like stand out in history, right? Like you look at the people that like a Shaka Zulu or the great kings in Egypt or just anybody who was able to get everybody on the same page and lead people to a greater purpose, like whether that be Julius Caesar or, like I said, Shaka or dang, I keep forgetting. There's so many.
Thomas Sankara. That's the best modern example. You know what I mean? When it gets everything and successful. Yeah.
Yes.
And if y'all ever seen the movie Hero, did you see the movie Hero with Jet Li?
Mm-hmm.
That movie is a nationalist movie.
Yep.
The entire concept of that movie is a net because it's saying the very same thing that you're saying, Chad. The very same thing. He set aside his own personal vendettas so that the land can be won.
Right.
He had an opportunity to kill the king. He said, "But if I kill this dude," and the king's and the whole version, like what the king was trying to do was bring the land together. He said, "I'm going to end up hurting more than helping." So he sacrificed his vengeance on his family and all of that just so that the land can be won. That's a nationalist movie.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody hasn't seen it, they really should check it out. It's not just kung fu and flying around. It has real deep themes to that movie.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out, man.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't seen it, just check out Hero.
And
man, it's like I'm getting to the point now where you need to realize, and this is, forget about the whole nationhood and stuff, and just look at it on a personal level. Let's say you trying to do something with your life and your career, be a job or whatever, and you got what they call so-called haters, or you got somebody that don't like you and all this other stuff and give you. Think about it. Just think about it logically. Isn't that a good thing? Because if that person hates you and they ain't really down with what you're doing, then that person is out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We so busy fighting niggas and fighting people that's against us and disagreeing with us, we get so caught up in that we forget, well, wait, damn, ain't I supposed to be doing something?
Mm-hmm.
Do what you got to do, man.
And removing those obstacles doesn't change the dynamic anyway. We'll remove all Uncle Toms tomorrow. We still got the same issues.
Thank you.
So, yeah, agreed.
So, that's my take on it. It's like, as far as America goes, America's been done. Been done. That's why their only source of making money now is just ripping off their population.
Mm-hmm.
There's no growth. There's no opportunity. And even if there is some, they're not going to take advantage of it because they've got their heels sunk in it. America is Tower Records. America is Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
What happened to
Blockbuster? This is not the first.
Could you imagine if Blockbuster Video or Tower Records had nuclear weapons? There'd be no cloud, no nothing. There'd be no Apple.
Right,
none of that shit would be existing. We'd still be taking videotapes to the damn corner.
It was war they wanted and war they got, but they wrote it in the heat with my